me. She, decorated my apartment with birthday signs, balloons.
Wow.
And this was the card that she and her sons gave to me that day. And I still have it till now, and I cherish it.
Welcome to the Whole Student Podcast with Cal Balaban. Whole Student refers to the magical moment when a student is fully seen, heard, and known. This is the spark of a relationship between student and teacher, where the former is catalyzed on a journey beyond what they thought possible, and the latter is a proud advisor cheering from the sidelines. The Whole Student Podcast asks guests to reflect back to their moment, to the person who became a transformative teacher in their lives, and on the journey they were set upon. Our guest today is Charli Turner Thorne. Charli Turner Thorne is the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils women's basketball team. She is the winningest coach in ASU women's basketball history and is number 2 all time in the Pac-12 for career wins. Since she's been at the helm, the ASU program has been qualified for the postseason all but 1 year, and she has a school record of 6 consecutive NCAA appearances, 2 Elite 8 appearances, and 3 Sweet 16 finishes. She also has a pair of gold medals with USA Basketball. She's a 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year and has served as president of the executive committee of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. She graduated from Stanford with a BA in psychology and earned her master's from Washington. Charli has dedicated her entire professional career to athletics and education. It is my pleasure to welcome Charli to the Whole Student Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to start you off with the first question, which is, when you were a student, what words would you use to describe yourself?
Oh, I mean, I'm a self-proclaimed nerd, right? So I liked school. I was pretty on point, pretty disciplined, and didn't thoroughly dread school every day.
Right.
And appreciated teachers, engaged teachers that were into what they were doing. So,
right.
I didn't, I think I never missed a day in elementary school, and just, and then I got mono really bad in middle school, or high, we called it back in LA. So, I think, I was disciplined. I did what I was supposed to do before I did what I wanted to do, right? Like,
fair enough.
That's our
awesome.
definition. Yeah. So,
well, I don't make students like that anymore.
That's the ones we look for. We look for the throwbacks.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, could you take us to a moment where you felt truly seen, heard, and known by a teacher? Can you set the stage for us?
I would have to say, and I'm really old, so I'm having to think about this. But my high school basketball coach, who was also a teacher, was an amazing mentor for me. And so not just on the basketball court, but off. She did so much for me. I think really as a coach now for the last 30 plus years, a lot of my kind of servant leadership and just being there for my players, no matter what, the transformative, right? Not the just do this for me, I do this for you. I remember Nancy Graziano, who's retired senior women's administrator at Idaho State now, up in Pocatello. She spent hours helping me rehearse, my speech for graduation, right?
Wow.
Auditorium thing. And she met me like early in the morning before and after, just the things that she did for me and just, hey, let's go to lunch and let's talk through this. And, I just think she was so above and beyond and really kind of planted some seeds within me about, being more than just, because I had her in class, but, she was just so much more than a basketball coach and a teacher in terms of helping me, understand, what it means to really be there for somebody.
Yeah. And you stayed in touch with her through the years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We had a fun reunion Zoom and with some of our former players a month or so ago. But yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was a long time ago.
So, it may be a long time ago, but you've had that impact in your life, and it's something you cherish to this day.
Yep.
How do you try to channel that energy when you work with students and student athletes?
How do I channel
that same kind of spirit?
Yeah. I think if I want them to show up, we call 8, 9, or 10, right? You want to show up at 10, like then I've got to show up at 10. So I definitely think, being a great leader, you got to first lead yourself, show up, bring that energy, right? Bring that focus, right? Bring, be in tune with them. Like that's, I think, I'm sure, I have a lot of things I don't do great, but like, I feel like I can walk in the gym and just know, okay, this person's a little side, they don't look like they're in a great place, and so I think really knowing how to be in tune with, my staff and my players, right? Like where they're at, we like to say at ASU, like our number one goal every day is just to help our young women be in a good place as a person. Right. I think all teachers need to really center on that, because if your students are in a good place as a person, then school's going to take care of itself, right? Basketball's going to take care of itself. Like they're going to be able to learn and grow and be engaged with you. If they're sideways, they're not going to be engaged with you, right? So we have to address that first. And I think that's something that we work really hard on here, and I've learned.
Wow. Charli, I appreciate that. I think what you just said and the story you shared is going to, make people feel inspired, both the student and the teacher, especially in this day and age where we've been so disconnected for the last year and a half, to reconnect with those relationships and those teachable moments. And so the last question I have for you is, if I gave you a magic wand and you can pull 5 teachers together from your past that are meaningful to you for a meal, who would they be?
Wow. Well, I think, I had a history teacher in junior high, Miss Kelly. Okay. Miss Kelly, and she was, I don't know even really why we just connected, and again, I was a pretty good student. I was into stuff. I worked hard. I did, pretty well, and teachers, they appreciate that, right? But I don't know. I mean, she loved sports, and I was always an athlete, but I don't know. I mean, she was just somebody that she wasn't like particularly warm and fuzzy. She wasn't particularly she just was a good teacher. Wow. And so, I mean, I guess from my early years, she kind of stands out to me. Sister Rita, my calculus teacher, didn't care for calculus, just made her chocolate chip cookies and tried to bribe her. But, she tried to help me with my relationship with God. She tried to help me with calculus. Wow. I mean, she just went kind of beyond. And because I didn't grow up with organized religion, and she was just so, I didn't, just great about it, not anything kind of pushy, and just knew how to connect with me. Probably some of the coaches that I worked for were some of my best teachers, mentors, like Karen Meyer, I worked with at Santa Clara, and Chris Gobrecht, who I went from Stanford to the University of Washington for graduate school. Incredible person, incredible mentor in terms of just learning about, caring about people first, right? And then exactly in basketball. Exactly. And coaching is teaching. Like I don't know what people think we do all day, but we teach. That's right. We just teach. That's right. And I mean we have to kind of run a business too. So there's just like there's other aspects. But why I got to just share this real quick. So after 15 years at ASU, I got the privilege. I guess I built up a little bit of equity to take a sabbatical at 8 months, and I was pretty had all 3 of my children during the season, hadn't done maternity leaves, done the USA thing, just a lot, and I wasn't practicing what I preached as a teacher in terms of recovery, how to have a relaxed body, calm mind, joyful spirit. Wasn't happening. I wasn't the wife I wanted to be. I wasn't the mom I wanted to be. So I needed to take a step back. And in that time, I met with our president, Michael Crow. He's an amazing mind and great mentor. And he's like, I go, okay, well, he said, what are you going to do with this time? What are you going to do with this time? And it's like, just, really step back and, what, look at, are you doing what you want to do? Is this your passion? And all I did through that sabbatical was learn and get with other teachers and mentors and try to grow myself. And I'm like, this is what I was meant to do. That's right. This is awesome. My why. And so I don't know, I just wanted to share that because I think,
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure people go into teaching for different reasons, but
yeah.
I think we also kind of, to your point about, who do you really remember, who really impacted you? I mean, the people that probably loved what they did every single day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that story. Well, thank you. Thank you for leaving us with that. Well, appreciate you. Good luck with the season this year. We'll be watching.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for joining us for this. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
And
All right.
congratulations on getting Kimberly Brandon to your school.
Oh, big
Phenomenal
time.
young female leader. So
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Bye. And now, a product of Coach Charli's mentorship, we welcome Dunn Learning Strategies teacher, Kimberly Brandon. Before coming to Dunn, Kimberly was the Assistant Director of Academic Support for the Athletic Department at Pepperdine. Originally from Lancaster, California, Kimberly graduated from Arizona State University with a degree in Family and Human Development and later received a master's in education from National University. Now, she's currently working on a doctorate in education, and as a basketball standout for the Sun Devils, Kimberly helped lead ASU to an Elite 8 and Sweet 16 appearances. Her senior year, she earned honorable mention, all Pac-12 accolades, and an honorable mention on the all-conference defensive team. So it's a pleasure to have Kimberly here, especially since we just talked to Coach Charli. Can you talk a little bit about the impact she had on you?
Yes, Coach Charli had a huge impact on me. She was definitely one of the biggest mentors I have in my life till this day. I learned a lot from her. She, is a prototype to the person that I want to hopefully be someday. As far as, her being a successful businesswoman, having a family, and just being a great mentor for the younger generation.
So describe her mentorship for people that don't really know it or haven't experienced it. What did she do that really helped you connect with her?
Charli was amazing at paying attention to the details. That's what really drew me into going to ASU. She just, always think outside of the box and just do things that I would never expect of a coach. I give you a quick story about just the recruiting process and her coming to visit my family and I in California. So she comes and knocks on the door. I open the door, and her staff are wearing Ugg boots. And so I'm like, you're from Arizona, like, why would you have a pair of Uggs? But she paid attention to my sister and I, who she was also recruiting at the time. We, after every game, AAU game, we would put on our Ugg boots. And so that was just a thing, typically athletes would wear like Nike sandals or something. Me and my sister, we always wore Ugg boots. And so I opened the door, and her assistant coach and associate head coach all had Ugg boots on. And she was like, I literally just brought these like a week before coming to visit you. Like, this is my first pair of Ugg boots. So I was like, okay, she really pays attention to the details.
Wow. And how was it during the time you played for her? What kind of things did she do that made you feel more and more connected to her?
Coach Charli, she welcomed me with open arms. She definitely, at that time of going to ASU my freshman year, she was the person that I really needed in my life at that time. She, I had a lot of issues going on with my family. My three of my brothers, they were taken away from my biological mom and placed in foster care.
Wow.
And so I didn't even want to go to college. I just wanted to stay back and, help figure out how to get them out.
Yeah.
My adopted parents, who adopted me my junior year of high school, were in the middle of getting divorced.
Wow.
And so going to ASU my freshman year, it was very tough for me to leave home.
Yeah.
And so Coach Charli took me under her wing.
Yeah.
She welcomed me in her house.
Yeah.
She, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but there were some times where I had to stay the night at her house because I was going through so much. I wanted to leave, early in the process and go back home. and help figure out like my family issues and things like that. So she was a great consistent figure in my life at that time, and she made me feel comfortable, and she offered a lot of guidance and support, and all of that is what I needed at that time to thrive. And so yeah.
Well, I know you're a host and educator, and you make sure that our students are seen, heard, and known all the time. And I can hear in the story and the emotion behind it that she saw you, she heard you, and she knew you. You brought a card with you.
Yes.
You want to tell us about that card?
Yes. So it's a birthday card that I got from Coach Charli my senior year. That was the year that she took a hiatus and took a break from coaching, and so that really impacted me. I wanted to immediately transfer because she wasn't going to be there, and the associate head coach that did step in for her that year, I never had a good relationship with him. And so I was like, I didn't want to be here. Like, I went to ASU because of Charli.
Yeah.
Like, she was the biggest factor of drawing me in, because I had a lot of options and schools to go to. And like I said, she just attention to the details. She knew I was all about relationships and family oriented, and so that year, although she wasn't there every day physically, she was still a presence in my life. And this card means a lot to me. She decorated my apartment with birthday signs, balloons. And this was the card that she and her sons gave to me that day. And I still have it till now, and I cherish it. And I've moved around plenty of times, and I've just always made sure I have this card, tucked away safely. And it still works, actually. So yeah. Her sons drew pictures. She wrote a great message in there for me. So I'm always gonna have this, and cherish this.
Wow, and she became like family.
Yeah.
Wow.
I called her my third mom.
That's awesome.
She really was. Like,
that's awesome.
Her phone, and my contacts, her name is Mom.
Wow. That says it all. She's gonna listen to the show that we did. She's gonna listen to this part. Is there something that you haven't told her that you might want to say, or what do you think she's gonna? How do you think she's gonna react when she hears it all?
I mean, I always tell her, after every conversation I have with her, I love you. With the purple heart, that's our thing. We do purple hearts. My favorite color is purple. And so, I just want to continue to say that I love her, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I don't even know if I would have, even graduated college without her. Like I pursued my a master's degree, and now I'm working on my doctorates, and I would have never imagined or saw that for myself. She was always like, you can do so much in life, and let education be the vehicle to get you to where you want to be. And I've always kept that message close and dear to my heart. And I just want to keep striving, and getting the doctorates will I obviously make her proud, and I think that's like the ultimate accomplishment, and that I can show her, hopefully.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It's interesting because this is a powerful story. It's a story within a story. You're an educator. You're having impact on kids this day and age. Making sure they're seen, heard, known. She had that impact on you, and it's coming at a moment where she just announced she's retired. And so there's so much beauty in that. And so I hope that she sees that even as she's retired, the impact that she's had and the impact that you're having, it's just paying it forward, and everyone is being seen, heard, and known. Thank you.
One of the sayings that Charli used to say to us, and I try to use and implement in everything that I do in life, is she always said this to my team, like, what can you give to your team? It's not about what you can get, it's what you can give and pour into, the things, your relationships,
Okay.
And so I really tried. I really kept that message, and I still live by it till today.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's all about what I can give to
phenomenal.
people, not what I can get.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that message. Thank you for sharing your spirit,
Mm-hmm.
your time, and your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, Kimberly.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. The Whole Student Podcast has been brought to you by Dunncast. Produced by J.D. Scroggin, the Director of Marketing and Communication at the Dunn School, and co-produced by Brandon Scott of Comfort Food. Thank you for joining us.